Okay, you guys, listen. A whole redo of the house came into play because I wanted to fit these somewhere. I picked these up last week at our little local thrift store. I didn't expect to find anything, so I did not film in there, it was sad because I found these. These were $2 a piece, and someone had them outside, and they were really rusty on the top. Aaron did his best and got a lot of the rust off, and he painted them for me. I was gonna do it, I was gonna paint it, but he did them for me. So I'm moving around stuff in the living room. Aaron's outside cleaning my windows because as soon as I moved things around, we were like, oh my gosh, the windows are so gross. So it's like this whole expedition in the living room going on just to fit these little candle holders. So let's say hi to, look, they gotta see what's going on. Say hi, Comfy. You never make the videos anymore. Say hi. No? Not gonna say hi to the people? So I'm moving everything around. I was cleaning the baseboards because, oh my God, gross. And I was cleaning behind the windows because, again, gross. And I cleaned all this off. I was dusting over there. So everything now, I messed up Bianca's carpet that she vacuumed and all that with all my stuff. So anyways, I'm just messing around with the placement of these candle holders, and I don't even know if they're gonna go there. And I create this whole project to do for myself. Yeah, do you guys do that? Gumpy, say hi to them. He's waiting for his dad. That's Aaron's cat. Don't eat my doctor bag. That was all fuzzy too. That was gross. Oh my gosh. I could have made a whole other cat. Also, you know those little set of drawers that we got a little bit ago? I put them right here in the little hallway. So I'm thinking, because we don't have an extra linen closet here. This is we made this hallway. This was a Jack and Jill bathroom. So you would have went from Bianca's room to Gabriel's room. And there was a closet right here. And then this is their bathroom. So there's no extra linen closet. So I was thinking to use this and put their little Q-tips and their little bars of soap and things like that. Store that in there. Because, there's not a lot of storage space. And we got a lot of stuff. So, all right. I'll let you guys know what I figure out. Come, what are you doing? Is everything moving around? Is all the things moving around? You got a love on it? Yeah?
Such a freaky cat.
No, he's not. You leave my Comfy alone.
He's literally freaky.
No, Comfy real.
Watch this.
Don't do that to him. I hope he whacks you. I was very surprised to find these at Dollar Tree, actually. They're a perfect size. And they're not battery operated, but they are battery operated, but not by a remote control. I'd have to turn them on and off. But $1.25, and they're not teeny tiny ones when Walmart has them for $6.98 a piece. So he's out there. He took that old screen out. We have these old, the rope weighted windows. This one's actually, this side of the rope has been broke since we moved in. You have to have a special person be able to fix that, because they don't make these windows anymore. Anyways, so he's out there, and then I was taking my rockers off the porch and spraying those off. And then I put the little, the pads that you sit on, the chair, what are they called? Chair pillow things, into the wash machine. And so now I'm just seeing how I like these here in front of my window. And I'll have to move the other things that were there, but I'll figure it out. Well, I got those candles put up, but we had to take a pause and everything because we have a little hurricane going on. Yesterday afternoon and last night was pretty bad. I couldn't sleep. And so this morning it's about 9 o'clock right now. So it's still kind of crazy. And it went from just being a little tropical storm to our porch stuff put away, because normally you have to put this stuff away. But it's done good so far. We have had a lot of trees hit the roof, of course. and we have a lot of debris we gotta clean up. The city was already out picking up stuff in the road. We have big trees like they do, you know. Oh, from hurricane to Halloween crafts. I've been saving up some footage for you guys, but I did want to share with you some of the Halloween crafts that I've been working on. These are crafts that I will have it for sale, like in our live sales that are on our other channel. I don't know if I'm going to keep any of them. I'm not sure because I do have some that I made a couple of years ago, kind of similar. But anyways, sorry I'm kind of a little off screen. I do finally figure it out. And these bottles here actually were dug out of our backyard. We had to get a couple of years ago our drain fields done. And way back in the day, as a lot of you guys probably know, there was no garbage pickup and people buried their trash. So we found some really cool old bottles, different sizes, different shapes and colors and things. So Aaron had them in his garage, and I told him that I wanted to make some potion bottles. And he was like, wait, let me go get those. Let me get the bottles for you. So I cleaned them up as best as I could, though they've been in the ground since like 1942, you know. And they're going to be painted. So what I'm doing is taking this one. This one was probably maybe like some kind of aspirin or some kind of tablet bottle. It doesn't have a lid, but that's okay. So I'm taking this, like that Halloween, what do they call that? It's not the gauze. It's just this weird like mummy type stuff. And I'm adding it to the bottle with some Mod Podge for a little bit of texture. And after it dries and everything, then I'm going to be able to paint the bottle. But that's what I'm doing here. So with this next one, I'm actually, and of course, so there you go. See, I figured it out. I'm actually adding a little bit of toilet paper. I'm out of paper towels right now, but a paper towel would work. Toilet paper is kind of cool because it's a little thinner than a paper towel, unless you have really cheap paper towels. And so you can like kind of push it and smear it onto the bottle. Now, right there, I realized I don't like that rough edge. So I just, you know, because it's wet, it tears easily. And on the front of both of these bottles, I was making sure that little Luna's Witch's brew would fit on there. So here I'm adding a little bit of that to that texture to the top. So I'm hoping to also use, I picked up at Walmart, the folk art makes a new paint, well, new to me anyway, and it's a color shift paint, and I have a couple of them that I got. So I'm hoping that and it's a metallic one, so it, like, you know, has a shine. So I have a couple of greens. I'm hoping to do make it look like a little bit of some kind of patina, but it's also so much cheaper to get these kinds than to get the all of the different colors rub and buff. That's for sure. Wait until you see this. So, oh my gosh. I wanted to make the Mod Podge a little bit thicker because I want to do drips on there. So I'm like, oh, I'll add a little bit of baking soda. And honest to God, I know like I can mix baking soda with water and it won't really puff buff, but wait until you see what happens with this when I start to mix it. I was like, wow, cool science experiment. Too bad the kids weren't here. I was like, holy, it just kept going. And I was like, oh no, now it's just foam. I didn't expect it to do that, you know? I know it's baking soda. I know science, but you know what I'm saying? It was glue, not vinegar. So I added a little more because I needed it to be a little more watery, and it's starting to explode again. I was like, oh my gosh, I need a bigger piece of paper. I did make it work. Excuse me. I did make it work, and I was able to get it to kind of drip because I'm like, I'm not wasting this stuff. And of course, I forgot a couple of times that the front area that I left empty that I needed for the label. So I had to fix it. I was like, whoops. And I had to wipe the drips off because I forgot, of course. But so when these dry, I'm going to actually probably spray paint the whole bottle. And that's when I'll use those metallic paints that I was talking about. And hopefully, you know, give it some texture and make it look kind of old and cool. And then I did some plain bottles, you know, just some clear ones, and I added some labels. I'll probably add a little bit of twine or something to the top because this kind of spookiness isn't everybody's thing. Some people like, you know, cutesy pastel Halloween. So again, I was making these for sale on my other channel. So that's why I was trying to sort of accommodate different people's tastes, not necessarily just mine. All right, so here is when I use just the clear glass bottles. These I actually bought. They are older, but I just bought them from a sale, and I was saving them. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do little potion bottles. That was my first thought, was using these, and then Aaron reminded me, like I said before, that we had a bunch in the garage that already had old patina on them. I guess I should backtrack. What made him think, or like remind, or blah, 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 those words are hard today. What made him remember those was I said, can you take these into the garage? Because he has all the sandpaper in there in his shed. And I said, can you sand the glass just a little bit? And then I was going to paint some brown paint on them. And he was like, wait, no, I have those actual bottles that actually have dirt on them. And so here we are. But this was my first project that I was going to do. So these, I'm just going to put these labels on that I actually downloaded from Etsy a couple of years ago. And I just resized them for the different projects that I want. And they worked out great. So then when I cut them out, I have to end up putting a little bit of the Tim Holtz Distress ink on the edges because I do use that little distresser, and I rough up the edges and to make it look a little bit older, but it shows the white core of the paper. Now, if you're curious, I do like the Walmart 110-pound cardstock because not every thick, nice cardstock will fit through my particular printer. And I find that that cardstock actually goes through, and I'm able to print on it and have a thicker piece of paper than a piece of computer paper. You know what I'm saying? And then I can make all my little embellishments and things like that. So that's what I use, is I print on 110-pound Walmart cardstock, and I resize my images in Photoshop Elements, and use them that way. I have quite a few projects that I've done using printable art that I could buy on Etsy. So here I'm going to show you that I've just resized these little labels. So I've made them a little bit bigger. That one right there is the one that I just used, that size. And I made them a little bit bigger because I was going to use them on something else. This bottle is amazing. It came out of the ground just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use it just that way. I'm going to use this circle label, and for that I'm going to use these dies to cut them because they'll cut a much better circle than I can. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So I thought it was a little bit naked, and I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and add some of this, whatever this is, creepy cloth, I think is what it's called, to the bottom of the bottle. And I think I'll paint maybe from there down, because I do love the colored patina of this glass. I love how it oxidized. And I might fill it with something different, kind of cool. I wish I had like little eyeball beads or something. I don't know. I'll have to look and see what Amazon has. But for now, none of these projects are finished. Everything is done in stages. I work on little projects, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this at a time, because they all dry in stages, you know. So none of these are finished because they have to have all the glue has to dry. I'm gonna let them dry for a couple days, but I really think that I don't think I'm gonna leave that like that color. I think I'm gonna either that or maybe dry brush some like maybe some brown paint, some darker paint towards the bottom. I don't know. I got to figure it out, but I thought it needed something else. And also, I wanted to mention, most times, I don't go over the label with more Mod Podge, because once in a while, I don't know, sometimes you put too much and the paint will run, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to do this again. So, you know, the ink will smear. That's what I mean, not paint will run. The ink will smear. So I used to be able to get away with that. We found out way back in the day when we would do these Mod Podge, decoupage type projects, printing from the computer, that you could print it in a photo mode, and you could put Mod Podge over the top and the ink wouldn't run. But I have a different computer, and it's oh my goodness, or I have a different printer, and it's a little ornery. So sometimes I can get away with it. Sometimes it does okay, and sometimes it doesn't. But anyways, just know that you can put Mod Podge over the top of the label if you want to. Just beware, because sometimes your printer ink will run. It just, I don't know. It depends maybe on the colors, on the type of sealant you're using. It all depends, but I haven't had any problem with not shellacking over it either. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I haven't done a House on Noble video in a couple weeks. I can't seem to get my game straight on this channel. I don't know what to do on here. I don't know what the people want, but I just remember one of my friends told me the other day, she said, just go with something and just do it until it sticks. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do bits and pieces of my day. And if I'm doing a craft, she said, Alex, film it. And it's content. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you, Shelby. I appreciate you. And thank you for looking out for me. Anyways, I'll let this video continue. You guys can continue watching. There's just a few more minutes. And make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And go on over to Chapter 2 Vintage Co. here on YouTube and subscribe to that as well. And I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye.